What are outposts? Alright, let's start with the basics. Outposts, in theory, should be an exciting feature in Mortal Online 2. They were designed to be miniature battlegrounds, a way for guilds to contest territory, generate resources, and have structured fights without needing to launch a massive war. Here's how it works. A guild declares on an outpost. Both sides get 1 hour to prepare. The attackers gather their forces, defenders rally their members. After that, a fight will begin. Whoever comes out on top gets the outpost. Once captured, the winning guild can collect resources like wood, granum, and the gold that's generated by the buildings in the surrounding area. The outpost has crafting benches for armors and weapons. The outpost also provides supplies and also has a small bank inside. And more importantly, it marks your territory. Ultimately, this isn't just about loot, it's also symbolic. Taking an outpost tells other guilds, this is our land, we're active here, fight us if you dare. They also have practical uses. Bonus loot from dungeons and bosses. Increased gather yields from mining, fishing and woodcutting. So on paper, outposts are brilliant. They're meant to spark conflict organically without need of Discord politics or scheduled siege wars. It's a chance for guilds to clash, create rivalries, form friendships and end alliances. But as many things in MO2, what looks great on paper often falls apart in practice. The problem with the outposts. Now here's where the cracks begin to show. Number 1, the time wasting and the empty fights. The biggest issue is that for only 100 gold, soon to be 250 gold, and 10,000 prominence, soon to be 25,000 prominence, a guild can control you. They can declare on an outpost, waste an hour and a half of your time, and they never even show up. Imagine this, your guild drops everything, stops farming, stops dungeon runs, rallies are for a fight, and nothing happens. That's not PvP, that's just time theft. Mortal Online 2 already has a reputation for being a game where time equals progress. Wasting time like this is worse than losing gear. At least if you lose gear, you get the story. When nobody shows, you get nothing. I believe Outposts was supposed to encourage guild versus guild fights. Instead, they've just turned into an alliance domination contest. 3 people can flip an outpost at 4 AM while the defenders are sleeping, at work or offline. Boom! Territory stolen with 0 actual PvP. For a game that prides itself on being global, where Australians and Europeans and Americans all play together, Outposts completely ignore the time zone balance. It's become less about fighting and more about logging in at the right time. The rewards aren't worth it. Here's the kicker. After all this stress, the effort that you put into it, what do you actually gain from holding these outposts? 4,000 wood, some granum, maybe some sea-doo. That's nothing. It's not even worth the risk of defending it, let alone organising 20 to 30 people to fight. If the rewards aren't meaningful, then the outposts don't matter. And if they don't matter, they're just another feature nobody cares to engage with. Seriously. Like with the relics, abilities and balance. This isn't directly about outposts, but it matters because abilities affect how fights are played out. Abilities were supposed to add depth to combat, instead they've just turned fights into a spam festival. The idea of rewarding a player with adrenaline for taking damage is backwards. It punishes skilled players who can parry, kite and play smart, because the more damage they deal, the stronger their opponent becomes. In an outnumbered fight, this just guarantees that the larger group wins. Your skill is devalued, numbers rule, and in a game like MO2, that's the exact opposite of what players wanted. Murder counts becoming a grief. Now this is personal, because Outposts are supposed to be no murder zones, yet people are still getting murder counts there. Myself personally, I've been murder counted countless times at Outposts, but I've seen guilds like Koto abuse the system, unward decking just so they can continue murder counting players at Outposts and in the vicinity. Combined with the recent negative rep changes, this system turns it into grief online too. Veterans use it to keep new players down, and new players, instead of learning PvP, learn to avoid it entirely. The system is flawed and broken, but you shouldn't blame the players for using every advantage they can against you. This is no different from being able to close the doors from the other side of a house, rotating decorations outside of your building, loot blocking, freeze camping, playing multiple counts at once, glitched in untouchable locations where it's a one-way window where they're stuck in a rock or under the ground and not visible unless you use a clade or a pet ability. Many of these issues are still abused and go unpunished. Ask yourself this: how is a new player supposed to get into a full loot PvP game when killing one person means days or hours of grinding reputation back, when they have no assets, no gold cushion to fall back on, no second character? Mortal Online 2 markets itself as hardcore, but the system isn't hardcore, it's just punishing. When veterans don't give a fuck about the reputation system as they're already well established. But then you also have the other side of the coin where you have veteran players who do not want murder counts and who are afraid of it. The conclusion. So what can be done? Here is what I would change. Outposts need longer grace timers. Instead of it being 4 hours that are proposed in this next change, make it 6 or 8 hours. This way guilds aren't stuck in an endless loop of defending. It gives breathing room and makes captures actually feel more meaningful and losses more painful. Once you've reached the flag and there's nobody contesting it or there's nobody inside the perimeters, it should be automatically captured. Having to wait an extra 10 minutes to capture a flag that nobody's contesting is just time waste for everybody. Make outposts worth fighting for. Improve the rewards. Instead of it being 4k wood, make it a full stack. Instead of a tiny amount of granum, make it 3 full stacks. See dude? Buff it to 2000. Give players real incentives. If guilds are going to commit time, gear and risk, the rewards should reflect that. For the proposed idea, locking rewards behind rank 4, I believe it's a huge mistake. Not every guild trusts its members with leadership permissions. Let anyone pick resources, that way players feel invested and guilds don't have to micromanage. Make abilities enhance tactical play, not just reward the Zerg with bigger numbers. That way outposts become exciting again, places where skilled players can shine, not just meat grinders where numbers always win. To make it more accessible, they need to remove the murder counts at outposts and pretty much across the map. This whole murder count negative rep system is a joke. It doesn't work. It's not actually beneficial to anybody or anything. They need to rework it, make reputation actually recover in some way, form, and tie rep gains to actual gameplay, not just repetitive dailies or tasks. This way PvP becomes accessible again for everyone. That's what the whole game's about. With longer grace periods, better rewards, fairer systems, and combat that values skill over spam, Outposts could be amazing. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for. Some battles, some fights, some rivalries, some shit talking, whatever it is. We're here to have a bit of fun. So that's my take on the current state of Outposts. They're a great idea, but the execution right now just doesn't live up to its potential. But I want to hear what you have to say. Have you had similar experience with Outposts? Do you agree with my solutions, or do you think your own ideas could work even better? Drop your thoughts down below in the comments. I'll be reading through them.